Where were you two the day Victor Wembanyama bent over the defending NBA champs, seemingly snatching the chain for best team in the NBA, finals favorites? Where were y'all?
I was on the couch prepping for my midday nap. I was getting ready. Those were my first 2 games I was going to watch. Warriors, Mavs.
Nap time?
Yeah, I'll see y'all in the morning.
Oh my gosh, bro. I had my Spurs jersey on too. I got one. I got a Stephon Castle jersey, and I was ready to join him, to join De'Aaron Fox. I was ready to join all those guys. Keldon Johnson too. And the bending over of OKC. They finally are dethroned.
As you guys see, we are here today talking on a Monday. You look at the title of this episode, it says episode 174. What? Those only come out on Fridays. As you see by the title, we're here today to react to your best NBA hot takes for 2026. We're also going to talk about the Christmas Day games that we missed because we recorded early in advance before Christmas last week due to travel. Talk about all the stuff you guys have been asked us to talk about all weekend as a OKC favorable podcast. As somebody who says good things about them. Mm-hmm. You guys have been in our DMs and our Twitter mentions telling us to react. We will. But more importantly than all that, more importantly than the main topic we'll talk about after that, like I said, this is a Monday episode. This is the new thing we'll be doing going forward. We are making a lot of changes to the show throughout all of January and February. You're going to see week after week, we roll out a new change, leading to one that I think is going to be pretty big at the end of this month. Don't want to give away too much, but stay tuned for the end of this month into February. This is the first one. The live streams that we do on Monday night are now going to be full-length episodes, which, you know, probably give and take there, because I know a lot of you guys that do come and watch the live streams every week. We appreciate you guys showing up every week. Kind of sucks potentially to you that we're not going to do that now. We are still going to live stream. We're just going to focus it more on live stream running big events. Obviously, you know, the draft night stuff, the lottery, big marquee matchups. We'll still do like once a month or so. But most weeks going forward, it'll be 2 main episodes a week instead of 1 episode and a stream. The stream is basically just turning into this episode. It's going to be the same type of run of show. A lot of news reactions, a lot of interaction with you guys, while the Friday episodes maintain exactly what they've always been.
Yeah, it's just a lot of change. And I know a lot of people are scared of change and they hate to see, you know, our normal program and our normal schedule just like develop over time, but this is for the better, and trust and believe us, we will not let you guys down. The crayons will be fucking bigger, juicier, and we will continue to munch on just in different ways.
Okay, well, yeah, these are not changes, they're upgrades. As you get it, it all makes sense as you see everything else we're adding to the show over the next month. But
are you not indulging what's going on?
I'm just saying.
By the time February 1st comes, this will be a very different show, and this is stage 1 of that. We're doing 2 episodes a week from now on. Same type of content, same type of schedule, just at a little bit higher quality on Mondays.
I have to get this off my chest. I don't know why, but your cuffs are huge, Isaac, and they're bothering me right
My
now.
cuffs? Oh, the shirt?
Yeah. Like, why are they so... They're mad big.
What Nike? I don't know. Cuffed up?
Nikhil, what are you doing, bro? I need you to get in the lab.
I don't think people know Nikhil works at Nike.
Oh, shit.
Just out of
But like we said, we're here today to react to Christmas Day games, more news stories, your hottest takes.
He'll be back.
Let's get into our first Monday episode in the show's history. Cue the intro music. We're throwing it back.
Whoa.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
He was bragging. I outbeat
The cranium is crazy. Oh my god. Crown eaters rejoice.
Like we said before the intro music, it is only right that we start talking about the biggest story of the NBA season, I think, so far. And that is the San Antonio Spurs are officially tier 1 contenders. They are officially the boogeyman for the Oklahoma City Thunder. Wemby officially owns Chet Holmgren. San Antonio officially owns Oklahoma. We are going to go ahead and make Oklahoma as a state a part of Texas now via basketball team. We've decided that they have to absorb them because they have bent them over so unbelievably hard 3 times in a row in the span of 2 weeks. This is monumental. I cannot remember last time we've seen a team as all-time talented as Oklahoma City Thunder, as dominant against 29 teams in the league, where 2 weeks ago we were talking about will they break the 73-win record that was on the table with the pace they're on. And now all of that has been put to bed by one single team that completely has their number. What is y'all's initial reaction on Christmas Day to seeing this?
This is what happens when the prophecy is being fulfilled.
Okay.
Right? Like, you have to have these moments where you have the young GOAT taking down the Death Star. And we're seeing the first parts of that. And it really is like when OKC plays everybody else, even whenever they play Jokic, you have styles that you can match up against. You have certain matchups within the game in terms of like player versus player that are very favorable to you. However, even whenever you play Denver, you know that Jokic is going to control everything offensively. What if that happened on both sides of the ball, right? what if your best player can dominate offensively and then can change the mindset of everything that you want to do defensively? And that is what Wemby is doing to the Thunder as a whole. And then, like you mentioned earlier, what if he's just slapping Chet Holmgren around every single play?
Yeah.
And Chet Holmgren literally looks like little brother to Wemby.
Yeah.
There's so much to get into.
What if that happens?
There's so much to get into with this. And it's obviously Wemby owns this team as a defender, completely shuts down the paint, all that we'll get into. The Spurs guards are not scared of these OKC defenders at all. The athletic advantage they have has proven to be another advantage that OKC can't contend with on a day-to-day basis so far. So many layers to this. Are you more concerned about OKC or excited to see the Spurs kind of prove themselves?
Most definitely. I don't give a fuck about what's going on in OKC because at the end of the day, they're champions. J-Dub just came back and he's still like obviously getting into himself and whatnot. Same thing can be said about Lou Dort. Like, I'm not worried about OKC. This is more so all of us taking note and taking the San Antonio Spurs legitimately serious as a championship contender.
Yep.
Now, this is like way sooner than any of us thought. None of us had them as a highly touted team in the Western Conference this year. We all know they're going to be good. We didn't think they were like going to completely miss the playoffs or play-in or anything like that. But none of us foreseen this level of like competency coming, even when Wemby's not playing at like the highest or elite level. In these games, these 3 games that he was playing against OKC, I think one of them or maybe 2 of them, he like came off the bench and whatnot. And he's been on a minutes restriction the entire time.
All of them, he's come off the bench.
Yes, exactly. And I think what's more fascinating about the Spurs and like all-time Wemby conversation, like aside, this team is legitimately good outside of him, bro.
Yep. So we'll start there. We'll start on the Spurs side, then we'll get into the OKC stuff and whether or not we're concerned. But San Antonio has proven that they are I don't know if you say tier 1 contender, but actually, you know what? If you can beat the defending champs 3 times in a row, that means you can beat them in a playoff series. And that means you can get through the hardest obstacle in the West. If you can come out of the West, you can damn sure beat whoever comes out of the East. So yes, I think we can say the Spurs are a tier 1 contender. I think we probably still view the Oklahoma City Thunder as the team to beat, probably the champion that if we're going to predict today. After that, we talked all year about the Denver Nuggets having by far the best chance out West to beat them because we know the advantage of Nikola Jokic, and we know that in a fourth quarter, they out-execute them every single time in the fourth and be able to push them to 7, just like they did last year, right? So we've always viewed the Nuggets as a team that if anybody's going to dethrone them, it's them. Add the Spurs in that category. They are neck and neck to me now with the Nuggets. Equal, if not better chance of beating the Thunder because of matchup advantages we'll get to. And if that's the case, you are one of the 3 to 4, at worst 5 best teams in the NBA that has a legit, more than just cute championship odds. Like you have a legit chance, as good as anybody, to hoist the trophy at the end of the year.
I think this is one of the first times that, like, that the Thunder legitimately have pressure on them to make a move at the deadline to try it and be aggressive.
Make a move or figure something out.
Yeah, because I think like 2 years ago when we were all screaming like, "Oh, trade for a backup big," and then like you go out and you get Gordon Hayward, and it's like like
I almost forget that happened.
Right, like you could have did something
that was supposed to be cool,
right?
Work out.
You could have did something a little bit better to address the very specific need that you needed at that time, and you didn't. You stuck with continuity. This year, like you kind of addressed your faults in the draft. Right, when you know or you thought that you were going to get Topic back this year, you drafted Sorber. He obviously got hurt before the season, and you're coming into this year saying, you know what, it doesn't matter. Chet's going to get better. J-Dub is going to get better. Lou Dort just had a good season. Like we're going to stick with everything that we had last year. We're going to bank on that. Now that the Spurs have come in 2 weeks have shown the entire world, you guys can't beat us. This is legitimately where you kind of have to bake in. You kind of have to make yourself Spurs proof. You have to figure out a way to get past Stephon Castle, to get past Dylan Harper, De'Aaron Fox, which is so crazy. But we're 3 games into the season series, and this doesn't feel like because sometimes it happens where teams play over the course of a regular season. Like one team, may win the season series like 3-1, but in the playoff series, it's it's probably going to flip. This is not one of those cases.
No. This is real. 100% real.
Yeah. I was going to say the thing about those three guards, Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, and obviously De'Aaron Fox, who is like the head of this, the face of this, someone who I've been consistently calling like, hey, he's the most underrated all-star in the league because of just nasty conversations that was had about him when they first traded for him. And then when they started winning games, I think they started out 5-0 without him to start out the year and whatnot. The thing about those three guys, you mentioned it earlier, they're mad athletic and they're mad quick. And none of these guys can be stopped by OKC, specifically because a couple of days or a couple of weeks ago, we talked about how Stephon Castle had a turnover issue and whatnot. That's no longer a thing because he has De'Aaron Fox and obviously Dylan Harper over there making decisions for him and whatnot. But this team right here does not make mistakes offensively. Defensively, obviously they're top class, but the main story to me is talking about how their offense has been thriving in this case in the scenario. And when you think about why OKC is so dominant, they literally took away like their number one superpower, which is they're able to hack you, which is being able to cause turnovers in the most chaotic way possible. And they take care of the ball.
Yeah, exactly. I think you just nailed the two things that I guess the question is obviously the Spurs now own OKC. That's all we're saying. But why? You said it's not fluky. I think you just said exactly why. Obviously, Wemby completely shuts down the Oklahoma City offense. When Wemby's on the court, they have like an 80 defensive rating right now against them. They are making that offense completely fall apart because Wemby is proven to be the greatest rim deterrent in modern NBA history, like we all knew he would become. He is that right now. And this Oklahoma City offense is obviously, it's not an all-time offense, right? They're great because they're an all-time defense and they can turn you over, get in transition, use that to supplement their offense in the half court and get a good offensive rating, but because the defense leads the offense. If one, you're not turning the ball over because your guards are more athletically gifted than OKC's guards and can't be bullied and are playing with utmost confidence to get through Case and Wallace, get through Caruso, get through Shea, the lack of turnovers obviously hurts the OKC offense. Then in the half court, if you can make it so Shea can't do any rim pressure because Wemby's there, and when he swings it to these other players, they won't even think about attacking the rim because Wemby's there. Now you're a jump shooting team. Every single time we saw this team get pushed to 7 in the playoffs against inferior opponents, it's because they were turned into a jump shooting team, and this team has a bunch of inconsistent jump shooters. Chet, especially being guarded by Wemby, can't get a jump shot off to save his life because Wemby's length is way too lethal on the three-point line, and Chet shoots the ball way too slow, so he's getting absorbed. J-Dub has been absolute dog shit coming off the wrist injury, but we'll give him grace because it's a wrist injury. Case and Wallace, Lou Dort, and really mostly those two.
Yeah.
Caruso to some extent, he played a bad game, but he's been a consistent shooter from time to time. Really, those two, Lou Dort and Case and Wallace, have proven to be inconsistent shooters against good defenses when their jump shooting is super relied upon. So this defense looks pretty much exactly how it looked in the playoffs when Denver did a great job of taking away Shea's drives with that really, really aggressive gap help they did and made it so those guys had to shoot a lot of threes. When that happens, this team will go cold. And if they can't be a dominant defense because your guards have those advantages, this cycle starts to break. And a lot of people are going to be like, they have the blueprint out for them. The blueprint is have the best rim defender in the NBA and the most athletic guards in the NBA. That's not really a blueprint. That's just a recipe for great basketball in any era.
Yeah, and for like the Case of Wallace's and Caruso's and stuff like that, I understand that they are inconsistent. I'm giving them a little bit more of a pass just because that's your role anyways, right? You are always going to be these types of players that are going to benefit off of the pressure and the creativity from your main ball handlers. However, we're here, and once again, this offense is 100% built on, hey, Shea, you go do everything, and then everybody else can kind of figure out where they fit in afterwards. We are looking for a Chet leap. We are looking for a J-Dub leap. And for those two things to not happen, now you're putting Caruso and Case and Wallace in positions where those drives are so much more valuable than they should be because J-Dub can't get his game off because Chet isn't getting his game off. Lou Dort hasn't been shooting great this year either. So none of your supplementary players are even in a position to be actually supplemental. And so that's why for them, for this specific season, you have all of these draft picks. You know where your future lies. You know it's going to be with Shea, J-Dub, Chet. I'm not saying you have to go out and trade for Giannis or do anything crazy, but going out and getting somebody who can create their own shot a little bit more consistently than what J-Dub is giving you right now, because even in the playoffs, we've seen J-Dub have issues getting to his shot and getting by guys and being creative in that way. So they're gonna have to figure something out just to.
I think it's the opposite.
Really?
Well, I do think you're right that they need to address things, but I don't think it's necessarily creation. Yes, it would be nice if J-Dub played better coming off wrist injury and can create a little bit more. He needs to play off ball a little bit more. I think AJ Mitchell can be enough of an answer. He wasn't there in this game.
Mhm.
I think he makes a gigantic difference, which a lot of people on Twitter are like, you're the best team in the NBA and you need a backup point guard to be the difference. Yes, he is that important to them. Like, that's not a slight to anybody.
That's also, I mean, that's been a weakness of theirs
Exactly.
for 2 years.
And he's helped
It
that.
makes sense.
I think what they need is better shooters. They need consistent shooters. Like, that's been the case since last year. The only reason they got pushed to 7 is that they did not have consistent jump shooting. When teams made it so they said, Shea won't beat us. We're going to double team him on these drives. We're going to gap help extremely hard. Case and Wallace beat us. He cannot. Lou Dort damn sure cannot. Like, they need to have consistent shooters that they can either close games with or fill some of these minutes that you can't just make it so we are 100% okay with that. We know we'll win out because more often than not, those guys will go cold.
I mean, that's,
Yeah.
this is the greed that they talk about in biblical times, right?
Sure.
It's like, like asking for a team with the all-time defense to also say, hey, can we get you guys to also be the like some of the best 3-point shooters in the league?
We don't need the best. We need confident. We need
Exactly.
regular.
You-
We need
That's
regular.
that's still a lot. Asking for 3 to 4, because we're talking about Caruso, Lou Dort, Case and Wallace. If every team had 3 guys who can legitimately, be talked about in all defense conversations, and then say also go shoot league average or above at 3,
Sure.
like that is extremely greedy.
Fair, but I think we're also seeing that
It's greedy.
It is
and,
greedy.
and,
It is
and
greedy.
like and somewhat unrealistic for that level
that part I
of
disagree.
play.
I think that what I'm focusing on isn't have everything. It's right now they're completely defensive slanted. The goal is to be insanely overwhelming defensively, turn you over, and that's going to be our MO, right? We have good, not great offense in terms of an all-time team style, but our defense is what takes us overboard. I think they need to have a little bit more balance there. Just because we've seen in the playoffs, we've seen in a regular season, you're going to be the greatest team of all time with that style of play. In the postseason, especially when teams can sell it on Shea and really make it so the 3-point shooters have to beat you, you're going to keep seeing these long series that you get upset a few times because the shooters don't come through. Like, you probably need to have a little bit more of a balanced approach, or at least have that in your tool bag. Like, have the ability to go towards the shooters and go towards the offensive style instead of only having the defense as your one card.
Yeah, I agree. And that guy that you're looking for when it comes to someone who can create their own shot is AJ Mitchell. He hasn't been there at all throughout at least specifically last game. What's such like an eyesore to me is seeing how, Alex Caruso, why are you taking 12, 13 threes in a game? That should never happen. He's never taken that many threes in his entire fucking life in the NBA.
Because they can't take twos against Wemby. It's crazy. Like, we're focusing on the stuff, right? What you just mentioned. End of the day, this is Wemby. End of the day, like, we're talking about this greedy stuff. It takes some greed on offense to beat Wemby. Like, this whole style of play we're talking about works against every other team in the league besides this one. Like, it's really more about the Spurs than it is OKC. Like, ultimately, OKC will be fine. They just gotta hope they don't play. They gotta hope that Denver and the Spurs play each other in the second round, and one of their ops takes care of each other.
Well, yes, and like even with J-Dub and his wrist injury, even if that never gets back to like.
Oh, it better.
It needs to, right? But I'm saying in terms of priority, if they do the things that you're saying, where now we are a little bit more offensive slanted, we go get ourselves some more shooters. Because realistically, if you're like building out a team and you get like better shooters, they're probably not going to be as good of defenders as right? Whatever. So if you slant yourself a little bit more offensively, the number one person I'm looking at is Chet. Because offensively we're gonna have Shea. He's gonna do his thing. Everybody else is gonna get open shots based off of what he's doing. And now defensively, if we're lowering down our perimeter defense, hey man, you gotta lock everything up. You have to be our version of Wemby. Obviously, I'm not expecting you to be Wemby, but you are a guy where coming into every year we say, if it wasn't for Wemby, Chet would be DPOY, right? And those two guys are fighting for this positioning in the league. Chet has to play so much better on both ends of the floor for them to actually have some type of versatility in terms of team building or approach or playing the Spurs or whatever. Yeah. And he hasn't been able to do it because, again, Wemby is big broing, lil broing him every single time, slapping him upside the head, clapping on free throws. He looks so shook playing the Spurs, and it is so visible on every single play.
17% true shooting when Wemby's guarding him.
Yeah, bro.
He's cooked.
This boogeyman has been existing since he was 16, 17 years old, and they were playing Team USA basketball versus France when it comes to their under 18 team and whatnot, bro. Like, this has been a story for Chet's for Chet's life over the last fucking 5-6 years.
And
You know,
Wemby
it's
hates
new.
him.
And there's nothing that Chet can do about
Yeah,
it.
you know what I think? I think Chet's just fucked, and Wemby's gonna big bro him no matter what, because Wemby is much better and is perfectly suited to shut him the fuck down. And we have to hope that J-Dub gets better and gets healthy with his wrist. He looks terrible right now for his standards. As somebody who is a top 20 player in the world, he is not playing anything close to that. Chet is playing that level on most teams, against 29 other teams. He's just not going to be that against Wemby. He's going to be a pumpkin against Wemby, and that's just going to be what it is. And they have to try to find a way to survive without Chet being good offensively.
I can't. That's the problem. Is
It's a big problem,
It's
but
like-
that's the problem that Wemby brings.
that's impossible. It's impossible. If like for you are asking a team,
Yeah.
and you are asking a team to take out their defensive anchor and take him from DPOY All NBA conversations.
Well, defensively, he'll be fine. It's really offensively.
And putting them, if I'm still talking about if you find a way to make the rest of your lineup more offensively slanted and putting even more of that burden on him, but taking him from that level on defense and on offense and dropping that down and then saying, also your matchup is the 5th best player in the world every single night for 2 weeks. You can't really like bank on that.
I think the defensive side is a little flawed. Like,
You know?
just because you bring another defensive player, better offensive player than Lou Dort, you're still going to have 4 elite defenders out there. So, like, I don't think the defense would be super impacted in that way. I think Chet can handle that.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it is a thing that you have to try to find a way to
You
win
have to
without
do it.
Chet being an offensive impact.
This is just one of those things where it just happens every single generation. It happened with Jordan. It happened with LeBron. It happened with Shaq, of course, too. Whether it be fucking LeBron in Toronto or all the guys that Jordan just murked in the 90s as well. Like, we see it time and time again, and this is just one of them victims, bro.
Also, you said something earlier about De'Aaron Fox being like the face of these 3 guards.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, listen, what Stephon Castle's doing
Special.
right now,
Yes.
it's special.
Yes.
And I think like the pressure that we have come accustomed to seeing from OKC defensively, whenever they turn it up, Stephon Castle's doing that every single night, every single play.
He don't have
And-
an ounce of bitch in his blood, bro.
No.
At all.
At all.
He
And
is
that's-
going
they're
at you
not
every
scared at
it's
all.
single
straight
time.
dog. It's straight dog.
Dude, they're not
Yeah.
even a little bit scared of OKC. The confidence they're playing with, they know we are bigger, faster, stronger than you and have physical
Yeah.
advantages.
Yeah.
Shout out Mitch Johnson. This team is clearly so well coached and playing with such immense confidence in what they do.
Dude, and we talked about all this. Their starting lineup feels like incomplete because Julian Champagne's over there. He's playing not fake basketball. He's competing really hard on offense. He tries really hard to get rebounds and whatnot.
He be doing
But he's
stuff.
not shooting threes for all at all. He's not producing real offensive impact.
I think he's pretty good, but there is a level
Yeah.
they can reach by upgrading that position. You're right.
Yeah.
Like Julian Champagne should be a really good bench player for you.
Mhm.
They have another level to get if they can find that wing that everyone links him to Trey Murphy, MPJ, whoever it may be. They have another level to get to.
There's so much like recalibrating that we have to do, and it goes back to this is why like this is the story, the biggest story of the league so far is that like De'Aaron Fox again. We have to have those conversations about him reasserting himself into one of the elite point guards in the league. We have to recalibrate our expectations when it comes to Stephon Castle. Keldon Johnson has been in trade move rumors for the fucking longest, right? He revitalized his career. Jeremy Son, we don't have to see those minutes anymore. Thank God. Like. There's so much to talk about when it comes to this team. And at the end of the day, like they're just a tier 1 contender.
Yeah, they're the second or
That's
third
crazy.
best team in the Western Conference. They have lapped a lot of teams out there, and that's a real story. I think OKC for them and their story, I think this is kind of good. I think they needed adversity. I think we're going to see what they're made of, right? We're going to see if they can rise and beat this team that has a number in terms of X's and O's. We have to see if Mark Dagnall is a coach that can figure this out. We have to see if Chet can be a man instead of a mouse against Victor Wembanyama. I doubt it. We have to see if J-Dub is ready to rise like he did in the finals. We have to see all these things that if you are this all-time team that everyone wants you to be, figure it out. You know, this isn't. I think we think about them like the Warriors because the last time we saw a team this level was Warriors, and they kind of felt unbeatable because they were so much more talented than everybody else. This OKC team isn't that. They got to earn it. Like, they're not going to walk in and out talent everybody just because. You're going to see a team that matches up well with you, and it's not a given you beat them off of talent. You have to figure it out and do the things that every championship team that strings together multiple chips, you look across all their runs, there's a moment where they had to overcome an obstacle and beat a team. Even the Warriors, the 2018 Rockets, that was a legit obstacle they had to overcome and figure it out. They had to lock in and figure out a way to outduel that crazy math equation that James Harden and Chris Paul had with the threes. They did it. Now we got to see them do their version.
Yeah, I mean, even before 2018, the Thunder were up 3-1 on them. And you had that duo of KD and Russ and their athleticism, the size that OKC was throwing at people with, then Enes Kanter and Steven Adams, like they and Ibaka, like they had so much size to combat what the Warriors were doing, and they were also a very physical team. So I think for the Spurs, like they are that version of that. And the two biggest questions that we had for them in the offseason were, can your shooting be good enough to support this offense and allow your guards to be able to get downhill? Check, right? We're good on that. And then, is Mitch Johnson actually the guy? Because he came in to start coaching this team whenever Pop was having his health issues, and so they doubled down, right? They gave him the contract, but it's still, we didn't really know if he was an actual coach, and now that is also a check. So when those two things are off the list, now we're into first world problem, issues like, oh yeah, can we upgrade our starting lineup a little bit better, right? Can we notch this? Can we get Wemby off the minutes restriction? Like they're cruising right now, and this is great to see.
You know what else is great to see? A real rivalry back in the NBA.
Needed.
So with that note, let's talk about the best rivalries in the NBA. Who are the 5 best rivalries currently in the league right now? Okay. With this in mind.
Yeah, we talked about number 1. Easily, it's OKC versus the Spurs. We can see this going on for the next 7-8 years and whatnot, bro.
Dude, I look at this on Christmas Day and I say, this might be the defining rivalry of the 2020s. This might be the type of all-time rivalry that we look up and say, Shea versus Wemby had wars in the playoffs and that defined people's childhoods.
Yeah. Okay.
Like that might be the next generation's version of Bron versus Curry if things go well.
Need that. I would say Denver, Minnesota.
Still?
Even still, because no matter what, I'm gonna get a good game.
Yeah,
true. I'm going to get a good game. Somebody's gonna do something crazy, and like for Jokic to go and have 18 in overtime and drop 50, and then Ange doing his thing, like those two still feel like anything can happen whenever these.
But they don't have the animosity of how much Victor Wembanyama wants to see Chet Holmgren in a grave.
I don't know if anybody had that. You're right. Like he's on a different level of hate.
Yeah, yeah. He definitely Kendrick doesn't hit as hard as Victor Wembanyama does. Cheering after a free throw miss, like you're crazy.
You're sick, man.
Is Knicks Celtics up there?
Kind of. It's kind of back. I would say. Well, you know what?
Knicks Pacers after last year.
I think it's fully
dudes.
there. Fully
I
there.
hate those dudes.
The Knicks hate the Pacers enough that I think I guess number 3.
Yeah.
Actually, I mean, do we still go Boston Lakers, or are we going to focus on 2025? Nobody cares about that right now.
Yeah, we'll focus. Oh, right now, LeBron, Dylan Brooks.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
That's definitely
Dylan Brooks also standing ovation.
Yep.
To give LeBron a high five at the free throw line. LeBron was so mad that he dapped him up. Dude, he was furious.
I haven't seen LeBron actually have hate for another player or actually anybody else get under his skin like Dylan Brooks has. This is like unseen levels of trouble from Dylan Brooks right now.
Yeah.
We're witnessing peak Dylan Brooks on and I guess on and on the court. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Anthony Edwards wants to make Timberwolves versus Thunder that. They gotta have a competitive series first.
They have to do what the Spurs are doing.
Yeah. They have to punch back a little bit first, then we'll get there.
I mean, they got to win this year.
They did. They got one.
We need 2. We need 2 wins.
Yeah, we need a playoff series that goes 7 or something. We need to have some real motion.
Man, the East is so devoid.
That's 4.
Rivalries.
There's nothing in the East. What do you want to go for the last one?
Okay.
Adam Silver and good ideas.
The Hawks and being like over 500. It's a battle of the centuries.
Paolo versus Franz.
Just on the same team.
There's not a lot of good rivalries. Is there even a 5th one?
Not anymore, bro.
I'm not.
Yeah. Looking at team logos, I feel like there's got to be one we're overlooking. Like, just
potential.
Giannis doesn't really got a rival right now.
Yeah, everyone's in Philly is just blah right now. Nothing's happening in Toronto. Oh, I mean, shit. I guess you could say Jared Allen and pressure. Jared Allen lights.
Yeah, at number 5, do we just go Lakers versus Warriors to grandfather in Curry versus LeBron? Every time it gets a little, the fans really make it a rivalry still.
Okay, yeah. Listen, we don't really have anything else, so
there you go. That's number 5. Curry versus LeBron, you get your legacy pick. But okay,
that's so sad.
It's still. I mean, the fans definitely still make it a rivalry. It still feels like something. Next thing we're gonna do, moving on to block 2 of this episode. I asked you guys on community post, as you see by the title, to give us your hot takes / predictions, but we're calling them hot takes that will define the 2026 NBA as we know it. We're going to react to them, decide if we think you guys are cooking or if you guys are being wishful.
Okay.
First off, Adam Silver suddenly grows his hair back and TJ McConnell goes bald.
Whoa.
Do we see this happening?
I've seen a lot of people. Listen, I'm very tapped into the hair transplant game.
Okay.
Right? Man weave, all the man units. I think Adam Silver would go with a man unit before he before he goes to Turkey for the hair transplant. So I don't know if this is gonna happen.
Do you see a rise in respectability in man units? Do you think it's gonna become
100%?
Would you consider that in your older years, 10 years from now? Say you got to pick a choice. Would you consider a man unit?
No, I wouldn't go with the man unit. I think I would go with the transplant. But Adam Silver is he's the commissioner of elite. He doesn't have time for the recovery that comes with the hair transplant.
Right. He can't be walking around with big ass bandages on his head, bro. Like that's actually embarrassing. He has so many interviews to get to. He has so many decisions to make. He can't do it.
Also, do people know you don't have to go to Turkey? Like you don't have to have that type of recovery. They do it in LA and shit like that.
Yeah, but it's mad expensive. Like he's
I think Adam Silver can afford it.
It's cheaper.
yeah. If he's smart and he's all about his bucks, which he clearly is, I think he's going over there.
Like people in LA go up there and do it for like a weekend thing. Like it's like a pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm going to Turkey. I'm getting the experience.
Yeah,
That's a terrible experience. I would hate that, honestly.
Just spend a quick 3-4K or whatever. Get your little hotel for 1-2 nights, first class back. Your max.
They take care of you in Turkey.
I actually don't know how much it costs. It costs 3 to 4K in Turkey.
Roughly, yeah.
It depends on what service you get because they charge you per follicle.
You guys are tapped in. I need to do some research. Next up. This year is Cade's SGA year. Pistons will win the title, and Cade wins Finals MVP. Do you see the Pistons being the defining team of this year's postseason?
This is a true hot take, and I fear that he may be overrating Cade right now. Cade is not like that.
He's overrating Cade a little bit. He's also overrating the Pistons' circumstance to allow Cade to do this.
Yeah.
I think if they do, they clearly need to make a trade for a second star. Or not even a second star. That's the wrong verbiage. That's a little too ESPN. They need to have a second ball handler. Bad. I know we've always said the whole let Jaden Ivey come back. We'll see. I have never once believed that was going to be the circumstance that leads Cade to being in the right role with the second scorer next to him. I don't think that's Jaden Ivey's game. I don't think it's the greatest fit. This season has done nothing to convince me otherwise. They need a second guy who can put the ball in the basket and do self-created buckets. Cade is still so overtaxed as a creator. Shout out Jalen Duren. That should not be your second best on-ball scorer. And Tobias Harris should damn sure not be your third best.
You know what? Let's rock with it. Let's do it. I appreciate the hot takeness. Obviously, it's not going to happen. They're going to lose in 4 to the Knicks. But like, if there was a year where like you could have a crazy run, the top of the East now is very, very like in flux.
Yeah, it's gettable.
And so you can be in a situation where the Pistons are in the Eastern Conference Finals. They find a way to win that series. You're in the finals, and then depending on who comes out the West. At this point, like at the start of the year, we all said OKC is obviously going to be there. We clearly have doubts about that right now because they look gettable by San Antonio, and you see some of the holes. You say, "Oh, Denver actually can get here." I don't hate the reach on here. I don't think this isn't pure nonsense.
Yeah, it's a non-zero chance to make the finals, and we always say if you can make the finals, you can win the finals. Anything can happen in a 7-game sample. If you're that caliber of team, you stand at least somewhat of a chance. But I don't know. I'm not gonna, like you said. I think the Knicks probably win, but if they go out and get whoever's available, where they may be, and get him a second guy, get him his J-Dub, I could be with them beating the Knicks.
This is the best hot take we've seen in quite some time.
Yeah, it's honestly, this is the perfect blend where it can happen, probably not, but it makes you think.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Listen, man, Indiana was in the finals last year.
If the Pistons
never know.
If the Pistons win this year, is that more unlikely than the Pacers winning last year?
I think
at this time we would say so. At this time, we had exactly 0% of the population of America that thought the Pacers could make the finals.
Yeah,
Pacers fans did not think the Pacers could make the finals in December of last year.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Especially with how they started the year too.
Yeah,
it's not happening.
We were having obituaries for Tyrese Halliburton top 15 player talks. Like it was bad to start the year, and then January turned it around and kept it going. So yeah, I think right now they have a better chance than the Pacers.
You had a whole iconic rant about how disappointed you were in Tyrese Halliburton.
He was
in the
pissing me
Teletubby
off,
suit.
man.
It was
He was
hilarious.
so bad. You're giving me PTSD for how bad that was. Watching an agenda dialect as a Tyrese Halliburton lover. But we're up now. Next up, the Dallas Mavericks slowly build chemistry, find a rhythm. AD doesn't get traded. Kyrie comes back. They make the playoffs, and the future looks bright. All the doom and gloom about the Luka trade will be forgotten with time, and fans continue to drag it, only taking the spotlight away from Flag's sensational performance as a rookie. Do we see the Mavs getting together? They already are getting together to some extent. How high is the ceiling of this? Do we think they can make a real playoff push if Kyrie comes back and looks 80% of Kyrie?
No.
I don't know. You say no, and I'm with you. Like they're probably not going to do anything crazy.
Yeah.
Flag's an all-star level player right now. Flag is here.
He is.
Him and AD they're building a little rapport.
You're not getting past, even if like the most improbable run happened, and they jump up all the way up to the number 6 seed in the Western Conference. in the first round, are you beating OKC? Are you beating Denver? Are you beating San Antonio? No, you're not going to do that. Are you going to beat Minnesota? Timeout.
Nah.
Who? Out of those three, who?
Minnesota. I think they could beat Minnesota. No, I don't. But I don't know. Honestly, I've been kidding because like I don't know what the fuck Kyrie's gonna look like.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like the hot take nature of this though. Like if obviously the big question mark is AD's health, who's always going in and out of the lineup now. He just got hurt again. I don't think it's anything serious, but it's always something small. We also don't even know if they'll actually keep AD. But it seems like they're entertaining it. And I do think that while I agree they're not going to make a deep push, I do think considering the fact that we were talking about them trying to contend for the number one overall pick, they could be a certain level like play-in team respectful that like you don't want to play them. Like whatever success looks like for that type of low standard of like just being cute, good team. I think that's pretty in the cards, I think
that's the perfect way to frame this for them. I don't think they're going to do anything serious in the playoffs at all, but I can see them like getting into the play-in and being an actual irritant to play. Like that defense is still so wildly irritating considering you got AD holding on the mantle. And then of course, what's his name again? Oh, PJ Washington is still there, giving the craziest energy. Cooper Flag is literally ascending in front of our eyes continuously. This team is mad annoying, bro. But championship conversation or real playoff conversations,
it's not happening.
It's not happening.
I think they can get the 9 seed and they can beat the Golden State Warriors in the play-in and go against the Thunder and get some good playoff reps for Cooper Flag against the Oklahoma City Thunder.
They can do it. Why not?
Ant becomes a lock for being a top 5 player, and the T-Wolves go back to the conference finals. We just mentioned those 3 teams at the top of the West seem to be in a tier of their own with the Thunder, Spurs, and Nuggets. Well, we say this every year. We never include the Timberwolves, and every time Ant finds a way back. If he does it again with how stacked those 3 teams are, do you think he'd be considered top 5?
Yeah. If he gets back to the conference finals for a 3rd straight year, leads them, you can get to top 5.
So who's he passing up?
I mean, he passed up Wemby.
Crazy.
Okay, so he gets there before Wemby.
Yeah.
Yeah. I already ranked him top 5 personally.
Or Luka?
Luka. If we get to the end of the year and top 5 is Jokic, Shea, Giannis, and Wemby.
That's damning, bro. That's so bad.
It's not impossible.
Obviously, things have to break their way. But if a guy is getting to the conference finals every single year, that's like that. And with the team that every single year we say this team is so flawed, like they have no chance. And then Ant is the defining guy of that run. I can see a situation. Now we're on that line though of. Listen, you start getting to these conference finals, you better start winning one. Right? we're on the line. So he has like one more appearance before it starts to go bad.
It's cute for now.
Yeah, before he starts turning into like conference finals, man. But
what a ridiculous nickname, conference finals, man.
We just find ways to hate, bro. There's so many young stars who don't reach those feats
I'm
at
saying,
all.
When you ask me why
he's on the line.
When you in the comments ask me why I glaze, that's why. Conference finals, man, is a sentence that just came out of his mouth. That's why we got to glaze to counteract the ridiculous nature.
Do you want to go to the finals? No, I just want to go to the conference finals.
We need to have positivity.
We're close.
Oh my
We're
gosh,
close.
that's
I don't want to see it, but it will
It's
happen.
a constant battle.
I'm just being real.
conference finals.
I wake up
man.
every day and I go to war.
I'm just being real.
Jaylen Brown finishes top 3 in MVP voting.
Is he doing all the voting?
I mean,
not top 3 MVP this year.
I mean, low-key. He just keeps dropping 30 every night.
Yeah.
At a certain point, like
if the Celtics finish out as a top 2 seed in the Eastern Conference, which is
they're
very
19 and 12,
realistic.
the 3 seed.
Yeah, exactly. Like if they finish out like top 2 seed, maybe somehow end up number 1 or whatever, some crazy shit happens. Yeah, sure, you could be top 3.
He's doing a lot
Make
of
him
carrying.
exactly number 3 though.
He's doing a legit scoring carry job. Like this is crazy to see from Jaylen Brown, who like I think we all knew he put up good numbers. We like made a lot of jokes that like this guy's gonna lead the league in scoring. I don't know if they'll be good, but he's gonna score a lot of points. That's the nature of his game. It'll work. That is all. We were completely right, but also they're winning games, which you didn't foresee. Like I don't. 3rd is a bit rich for my blood when there's like superhumans at the top of the league right now, and we know 1 and 2 are gonna be either Shea or Jokic in whatever combination. So maybe 3 is a bit tough. Top 5 though.
Yeah, he could be. He could definitely be on the top 5 ballot.
I think right now he'd probably be 5th in MVP voting or 4th.
Yeah, top 3 is just hard when like you said, there's 2 spots already taken of top 3, so there's not even a lot of conversation about who can be in that 3rd spot.
But listen, man, he'll try. Okay. He's trying. Shout out, it was a glorious season, crazy shot making. Rudy Gobert gets his 5th Defensive Player of the Year.
I think he deserves it, bro.
They're not gonna do it.
I think. If the narrative sets in that
right
Chet's soft and like Wemby owns him and like a lot of people are like saying like Chet sucks and whatnot, if that like sinks in people's brains a little bit, even if it's exaggerated, and they say we're not going to give it to him, that means no Thunder player can get it. And if Wemby doesn't play enough games, they're not going to give it to Mobley. Mobley's reputation's in the gutter.
18-8, man? Hell no.
I think if Wemby doesn't play 65 games, we're getting a Gobert DPOY, and it'll be completely deserved.
It's not happening.
Yeah, I agree. He right now he deserves to be, of course, like minus the Wemby conversation. He deserves to be number 2 in these conversations easily.
Yeah, the only competition to me was to Wemby is injuries, and then Chet and Gobert will duke it out because of that.
People ahead of Rudy Gobert in the odds right now: Chet, Wemby, Bam, Amen, Draymond, Scotty Barnes, Asar Thompson.
It's too early to be having serious DPOY conversations though. Like, Amen is not going to win DPOY over Gobert.
That's hilarious.
Nor is Draymond in 2025.
I'll make the Amen thing happen myself.
Somebody's got to do it. No, but it really comes down to people will the Wemby DPOY conversation, or I should say the DPOY conversation outside of Wemby will only start if he gets officially eliminated from 65 games.
Mhm.
Then people will start having real conversations, and I think you see the odds move because right now it's just like pencil in Wemby's name.
Yeah.
Next up, Spurs will end up getting the 1 seed.
That's insane
How far
work.
back are they?
They're currently 3.5 games behind the Oklahoma City Thunder.
It's possible, but
That's a lot.
that's a tall task. You have to ask Wemby to not miss any more games, of course.
Yeah, he's
And
got to play the rest of the season.
more so, OKC has to see some
Collapse.
real bleak times. Chet has to roll an ankle and whatnot.
Shea has to roll an ankle. We need
Yeah.
Shea in his games. Otherwise, they're going to be good. They're not going to play the Spurs 82 times. Unless we find 2 or 3 more teams that also own the Thunder, which I don't know if those teams are really in the lurk. And they still haven't played the Nuggets yet. They still have a lot of matchups with them yet. So maybe if the Nuggets own them and the Spurs own them, we just get a bunch of teams beating up on them. We think we can get there?
It was the fakest 24-1 I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got ran up on by the Minnesota Timberwolves too. I forget about that one as well. Yeah.
It was fraudulent.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Terrible.
Bums. Luke Cornett will become a fashion icon.
100%. This is this is normally how it goes. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa.
So he got his stuff.
What do you mean that's how it goes?
He's on the wave now. I think a lot of people are at this point are going to be more privy to the things that Luke Cornett is putting on.
Okay.
He will be an honorable mention on League Fits by the end of the year, minimum.
Do you have a closet of shiesties now?
I'm building the repertoire. Right?
Your bag's in a little deep.
Yeah, it's getting up there.
Fashion icon Luke Cornett. That's just
What a fit. The shiesty is one thing. The robe really brings it together.
I didn't even realize he was wearing a robe. What the hell is he doing?
And I forget what it was, some brand. I think it was like a Chrome Hearts robe or something like
Chrome
that. Yeah.
Oh,
It's a
shit.
Chrome robe on it.
That's actually tough. Whoa. Hey, you may be onto something.
He
like
looks
that.
fucking crazy.
If Stephon Castle can style him every single game, he will be a fashion icon.
Okay. Paolo Banchero will be traded. Now, this is a hot take. Are we there yet?
I'm being 100% honest with you. This is realistic. I don't even know if this is a hot take because that Orlando Magic front office clearly wants to win. Clearly, they're pushing in all their chips. They traded away so many first-round picks, swaps, and all that for someone like Desmond Bane, who's performing currently at an all-star level. Everything's there. The number 1 overall pick can't do it. I see why not.
I've been having a real hard time with this season with Paolo Banchero. I almost feel too validated. I'm like, okay, now we gotta be being dramatic. We gotta calm down. Like, there's no way that there's no way that this type of argument just like dies in darkness. There's no way I'm just right and that like Franz is better. There's no way. Like, surely he'll get better. So like, I feel inclined to not overreact, but I will say, if they have a GM that thinks he wakes up in the morning in July or whatever before free agency starts and says, I feel like Nico today, I'm gonna say fortune favors the bold, and I'm gonna flip him and build around Franz and whatever we get for him in the summer and say, I know before everybody else does that this contract isn't going to be worth it. I would not be shocked. Actually, no, I would be shocked because it's a thing you don't see teams do. I will not slander them.
How long do you wait in order to have
You give him the full
as
season.
actual
You give him the full
conversation?
season. You give him a full season to bounce back like we assume he will. If he gets back to where he was last year, where he's still maybe a tad overrated in like my eyes, but still like an all-star, then I don't think they trade him realistically in terms of like actual dynamics in a team.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you have a full season where he's not playing well and your team sucks and like it's either him or Franz got to go.
Yeah.
And he's the one that makes more money and he's the one that has more trade value potentially. Fortune might favor the bold.
Internally, the Magic are preying on his downfall.
No, I think they're doing the opposite. They're praying they don't got to pick up that gun. They're praying they don't have to do it. They're that meme of Peter Griffin. He's like, Lord, forgive me for what I got to do. That's them. The Celtics will make the NBA Finals because of Tatum coming back.
All right. 2 parts. One, I do believe Tatum is coming back. You're still not making the finals.
This is really here for you. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much are you shivering in your boots at the idea of Tatum coming back?
And what if he looks like 85%?
Or
of his
100%?
old self?
Maybe it's just Tatum.
If he's just Tatum, then it's like, yo, man, what's going on?
Would JB play that way?
Then like I
Ooh.
really can't even be mad
Yeah.
because you're just a superhero, right?
Yeah.
You're literally just Superman.
Yeah.
So if he comes back and he's scoring like 28, first team, right? First team, all NBA, world class defender again. Hey man, study his body. Put him in the lab tomorrow. I can't do anything about it.
You know how unfortunate that would be for you, man? This is like legit the only shot that you guys have. And I
I
keep
would
on
be
emphasizing this.
It'd be hilarious.
I would be upset.
You got to be scared of the possibility that with how Jalen's playing, the trade for a center, he comes back. Like, they might smoke y'all when it's your year, like you did them last year. They might get their ultimate get back.
I don't. That's the thing. At this point in time, it's like 1.5
Okay.
in terms of scared level.
Okay, so he comes back in a month from now. He comes back February 1st. And his first game, he has 24 points on 60% from the field. Lets JP cook. Everything goes well, and they win the game by 24. Then what's your reader?
Against
who? I don't know. The Miami Heat.
2.5.
Just 2.5?
2.5. I really because
Now let's
also
say 2 weeks of that.
again,
They go 7-0.
it's fine. It's fine.
10, fuck it.
I legitimately won't be scared until we get to the second round because even because I was talking about this with my dad this weekend. We were talking about like if Tatum is coming back, and I was saying that I don't think like even if Tatum is 100% and you feel like he should come back, unless the Celtics like 1,000% think that they can get to the finals, I would not play him because playing every other day immediately after the Achilles, like if you have a month of warm-up time and then boom, we're in playoff series number 1, you might get a nice little, easy round. Then we go into the second round and you're playing every other day. That recovery time coming off of the Achilles is crazy to put him in position for that. So right now, all of it just seems like I think he'll play, but it just doesn't seem real.
Okay. On Donovan's soul.
On me?
We are getting a Knicks and Kings finals. Russell Westbrook will get a triple-double in Game 6 to send it to Game 7, but in Game 7 overtime, Sabonis will brick a hook shot and the Knicks win.
What?
That's a good
Kings
job.
in the what?
On Donovan's soul.
Hell, you're a dead man. Kings in the finals?
Yeah, this is tough. We are at the point in the year where Kings fans have to start doing fan fiction. They have to start making stuff up because what they're watching on the actual basketball court is not
Hey, man, LeBron and Luka had a get-right game last night against them. I wish to play the Kings every night. That shit was a swell time. It was great. Luka's threes start to drop.
Nah.
What is he shooting, like 32% or something?
Something like that. On like 10 attempts a game. It's bullshit.
Yeah, he's doing entirely too much, Lucas. Scale it.
There's so much
down,
conversation
man.
around his game right now, like the
Yeah.
flaws and everything. If he was just shooting normal from 3, shooting his normal 37%, he would be averaging 40, and it'd be a way different conversation.
So do they drop?
No.
No.
Nothing good's gonna happen to me.
All right. He said nothing good. Like he didn't
Good
get
on
Luka
that.
Doncic in the middle of the night.
And then what? And then it's been a disaster.
A disaster.
I mean this week. This week, like nothing's good. I had a little honeymoon phase at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
Now look where we're at.
Mm.
We'll get to it.
You deserve it.
I know. Trae Young is never able to return to his former glory and becomes a bench player and is traded throughout the league until no one wants him.
This is entirely too much. Entirely too much. Now he had a terrible game last game. But since he's been back over the last, 5 games or whatever, he's averaging like 24, shooting like 46% from the field and whatnot, putting up good offensive numbers. No one wants him. Please stop.
Yeah, we'll get
We're
to
fielding
that.
I mean,
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Please stop.
Cooper Flag will have the greatest under 20 season of all time. Now, the greatest under 20 season of all time is LeBron James. What does Cooper Flag have to do to surpass LeBron James in the second year?
I think he has to average like 26, 27 or something like that.
He has to take over as commissioner of the league
What?
to have a better season than LeBron.
He's just dethroning Adam Silver.
Yeah, like that's how high you have to go. I think the bar is extremely high.
So he's got to implement like reputation fascism. He has to like rewrite history.
Yeah, I'm
Take
sorry.
take history by the reins.
You you have to write your own story.
Oh
Fair
my
enough.
God. This can never. Wow.
That's it.
That's glazing also, by the way. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. I never seen you do that before for LeBron. You're seeing a light. Congrats.
Gobble, gobble. We're getting a new champion in the year 2026, and they're going to be from the East.
Yo.
Understand what this is about. It's our time.
The Detroit Pistons are here. They're going to turn up. Cade is going to
It's
solidify
our
himself
time.
as a legend. It's over.
let's
Jalen Duren, you are Dwight Howard.
let's focus on Utah real quick before if we're the Pistons. let's do that.
The Thunder, somewhat surprisingly or unsurprisingly, depending on how you look at it, succumb to the fate that every champion has had since 2019 and will lose in the second round.
I can see a world in where it's possible. And I fear that we already saw that world just a couple of days ago. This feels very real.
And he said this will all culminate in a Spurs-Knicks finale. Finals.
That would be beautiful cinema.
Is that the best
Spurs, Knicks.
for entertainment in the league? If you're not going to get the Thunder, is Spurs-Knicks the best outcome? Would you rather see the Knicks get there and have to face off the Spurs, both teams trying to solidify themselves, or would you rather see Jokic try to get a second ring?
I think I'd rather. That's tough.
Would
Probably I'd
my-
rather want to see Jokic.
I'm asking this because we got to figure out our agendas. If we're going to go down with the Thunder ship and that's going to end and we're not going to see them go back to back, where are we putting our attention towards what we want to see happen?
At this point, if the Knicks don't win the finals, my agenda 100% is on Baby Goat. And
Okay.
we're trying to get as many rings, especially in the modern era. If you can stack up rings, that's gonna do wonders for your case. So if the Knicks don't win, Spurs, listen, shout out to y'all.
Nah, for
He's
me
mistaken.
personally,
We're
yeah,
locked in.
Jokic doesn't have many more opportunities at all. Like
I
these
don't care
fucking
about him,
powerhouses are stacking up. Get your final ring and dip, and you can be cemented into GOAT status.
Why doesn't he have many more opportunities? He's only 31.
He's only 31, but guess what, bro? Jamal Murray's gonna continuously get older. Cam Johnson's already hurt. Aaron Gordon, he just continuously gets hurt as well, bro. Like the Spurs have so many picks coming their way. The Kings pick in 2032 and whatnot. They have the Hawks pick as well. OKC, you owe OKC a pick as well, bro. Like there's just so much that he's up against that I just want him to get his ring and get out of here.
Why are we
Please.
not focusing our attention and focusing our agenda pushing towards a LeBron James farewell victory in LA and last ring to solidify the GOAT debate and have Lakers versus Knicks? Great for ratings, great for YouTube views, great for our careers. Then we see LeBron James go out on top. We see a new rivalry take place in the NBA.
That would be satisfying if the Knicks could beat LeBron and Luka to get a ring.
To get their asses whooped.
Ah.
Dude, that
Killed.
would never happen. That would never.
If the Lakers are good enough to make it out of the West,
Yeah.
they're beating the bricks off the
Yeah,
Knicks.
they're destroying
That means
them
no,
in
they
their
are
own
not.
game.
Because that means
They're
they beat some
killing you.
monsters. And that means the Lakers are
No, they
nothing
are
like we
not.
know them right now. That means the Lakers figured some shit out, got some bodies in the doors. If they could beat the Thunder, Nuggets, and Spurs, they're a different breed. The Knicks are cooked.
We'd smoke them.
No matter what.
Cat is not doing
No matter
nothing
what.
against those guys.
Kawhi uses his illegal tree money to build a portal, travels to the Avengers universe, and gives himself and the whole of the Clippers roster super serum. Chris Paul returns, and the Clippers sweep the playoffs and win every game for the rest of the season.
The only flaw that I see in that is that Kawhi is the one using the money to build the port. I don't think he cares like that.
I think the only flaw is Chris Paul returns.
No, I think
That's more likely.
that's more likely. I think Steve Ballmer would use the illegal tree money to build a portal, and he would do it. But if it's like, hey, I have this plan, Kawhi, I need you to use this money real quick. You know, they're looking into my money. Use your money real quick. Kawhi's like, bro, I'm just chilling. Like,
I don't know, man.
I'm not gonna be out here
Nah.
traveling through the space time continuum for you. Like,
Nah,
I'm just trying to hoop, bro.
That can happen. Both of those guys are already like under too much pressure. The IRS is on their fucking books, like no matter what, right? And I think if anything, it might be James Harden doing so because he's known he has a tendency
He
to give up
really
money here
doesn't
and
care.
there.
Has there ever been a player less likely to travel time than Kawhi Leonard? I don't think so.
Just doesn't want to. Not interested.
Had no interest.
He has an opportunity to make human history. Yeah, he would
I don't
be
even
like,
want to
nah,
go
dude.
to Canada, and you think I want to go to 1942? That's outrageous.
It won't
It
happen.
won't happen.
You should be like, for what?
I know. I have everything here. Scorching hot take from Goatfish 8888. City Kasoko will outplay Chris Murray.
Let's do it.
CDs are okay. Who's having these conversations?
It's one Blazers fan in a room by himself.
Just shadow
Yeah,
boxing
y'all in hell,
Discord.
man.
Just whitewalls. He's in solitary.
Chris
Yeah,
Murphy
yelling at the man in the mirror like the Stan music video.
And when they say that Chris Murray can't do this, I'm gonna say, "Oh yeah, City, but City can do this."
Camera zooms out. He's looking at the wall.
Oh, buddy, you need help.
He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get him next time."
Lakers will break it up and trade LeBron and Reeves.
I mean, no.
And Reeves.
And Reeves is dumb.
Trey LeBron obviously is like, I guess it's a cool conversation to have. Reeves is never going anywhere.
They say that.
People are
Like-
having a conversation about that though. People are saying like, maybe the only way to get this team to a level around Luka that makes sense with enough defense is to trade Reeves. Sacrifice him.
That's fine. I don't think that they would trade LeBron and Reeves. I think it's one or the other. And obviously, you're only trading LeBron if LeBron says, "I want to be traded." I don't think you surprise LeBron with the trader or anything like that. So
Okay.
So yeah, both is dumb.
Yeah, we'll get into more Lakers talking a little bit. But before we do that, Mo, I think it is time to take your temperature. I think it is time to have what might be the beginning of the end. It might be time to have a legit conversation with you about the fact that your sweet boy, Trae Young, might be out the door. Per the Stein line, there is a growing belief league-wide that the Hawks are more open to trading him than they ever have been. But what happens to their payroll if no such trade materializes and Young winds up exercising that player option? Can the Hawks dare to find out by trading for Anthony Davis or something like that? What are they going to do with Trae Young? A lot of smoke is being built up there that they might be finally ready to trade him. Like we've been telling you, at least there for months. It might finally be happening.
No. Fuck that. Correct yourself. You've been saying the same shit for years.
Correct.
You have been a lunatic.
And you know what?
And
This
you and the
time
whole
we saw
media.
him be gone. We saw Jalen Johnson let basketball thrive a little bit for Hawks standards, which is obviously mid. And then he comes back and they're 0-6 and have given up 125 points in every single one of those games. It has been the absolute worst case scenario for a Trae Young defender. Everything the haters told you would happen is happening. How are you feeling?
Listen, man. This team is ass, bro. I feel like I've never been more depressed watching Hawks basketball ever.
Never?
Like I've been saying, like this is the best offseason that we've had. Everyone's crowning the Atlanta Hawks as winners and whatnot. And I got a few messages to some people. Quinn Snyder, I hope you become the bestest of friends with Raheem Morris because you two are going to have something in common very, very soon. Dyson Daniels, you just got a humongous bag. I hope that you have good money management because you're never seeing a contract like that a day in your fucking life. All right. Onyeka Okongwu, listen, it's not your fault. 35% from three, making like 2 a game, 5 attempts. It's real. I love it.
I would love to see him set a screen.
I would love to see it too. I would love to see him play defense, but he's just challenged. He's just 6'7", 6'8", or whatever it is. Not his fault. All
He's
right.
PJ Washington.
Jalen Johnson, I said it before. You have a concussion when you play defense. Why is that? Why do you not know where you are? And why are you just so sluggish? And all of a sudden your athleticism just gets zapped. I have like so many qualms with this team. I hate this team so much. Like they just continuously make my life so much worse. Specifically because football is fucking starting to be over now. Season is dwindling away. And now I have to pay attention and I have to watch the Atlanta Hawks, bro, and dissect this team.
You didn't even mention the fact that you said fuck you to all these people. Zachary Ricochet is shooting 33% from the three-point line. Someone you called French Klay Thompson, you dumb motherfucker. And then now we have this report. Go ahead and read that for me.
Suddenly I lost my ability to read. I don't know what's going on.
That's fine. I can
I'm
do it
legally
for
blind.
you. Number 1 pick, Ricochet, hasn't developed as the Hawks hoped, and they're open to moving him in the right deal per the Stein line. Quote unquote. It is also increasingly believed that Atlanta is willing to surrender Zachary Ricochet in the proverbial right scenario since the number 1 pick in the draft just 18 months ago has not developed as they'd hope. Yet, even if the Hawks are prepared to package Ricochet with the expiring contract held by Porzingis and Luke Kennard for Anthony Davis, it is unclear how much additional draft compensation will be needed for the Mavs, basically saying they don't know if anybody wants Ricochet. They don't know if he even moves as an asset. They might have to just attach additional picks.
Bro, we haven't seen a number 1 overall pick talk like this in like 15 years and
Yeah,
whatnot.
he's so
Like,
bad.
we've never seen this shit, bro.
What does he do?
I feel sorry for Zachary because I told you guys this before, way earlier in the season. It was kind of a joke, but I think he dead ass has a curfew. Like, Quinn Snyder don't let him play past a specific time, at all, bro. Once it's like 10-15, it's like, all right, Zachary, 20 minutes, you're out. Get the fuck out of here. You got to get your extra sleep. We know you're not from here. You got to adjust to Atlanta air and whatnot. Like, it doesn't make any sense.
He has a bedtime.
Yeah, he does. He only gets like 19 max, like 23 minutes a game.
That's
and
actually hilarious.
Seeing how he's like been deprioritized constantly. He's in the starting lineup of 5 men. Somehow he's like the 7th option on the team. Bro. It makes no fucking sense.
I know what's even greater.
I hate it.
You know who's playing real well as of late? Tijon Salon.
Get the fuck out of my
lapped?
face.
You know who's lapped Zachary Ricochet? Tijon Salon.
How you feel about this, man?
I was gonna say you've entered Tijon talks, but you haven't. He's past Ricochet. You've ducked below Tijon talks.
What's so sad seeing this is like
Their stats in December. Tijon, 9.1 points, 3.7 rebounds, 51% field goal, 48% from the 3 in 18 minutes. About the same and more efficient than what Ricochet has done in 24 minutes.
what did Atlanta do to deserve this? Like, why did we just somehow land on no shots at Zachary Ricochet, but he is obviously like the worst #1 overall pick for a long time. Like, terrible. But what did we do to deserve this? Like, we could have had like the year that we magically landed the #1 overall pick in between Wemby, Cooper Flag. Of course, we could talk about Zion and whatnot. We end up with this guy right here. You guys said he was French Harrison Barnes. Oh my God, he's worse than that.
Oh no, he's French Torian Prince. We've ducked below.
I think he's not terrible. He hasn't been the best this year, specifically shooting from 3 as well. Like that, he's been not good at all. But I think what's been the bigger issue is how we've been developing him and how we've like taken away specific looks and touches because we got Nickeil Alexander-Walker there doing the things that he's doing. Jalen Johnson's ascending. Onyeka Okongwu's eating up a lot of the 3-point attention as well. It's sad seeing him just like be an afterthought on our offense and being treated like a random 10-year vet, like he's Georges Niang or something like that.
Do you think he would be treated as an afterthought if he was actually good?
Did you drive here today? Take the bus. You're not riding my car after that. You're not riding my car after that. You're not riding my car after that. I have spare keys to your apartment too. You're not seeing Penny today either. I'm taking your dog. How dare you?
It's just a question.
This is like it's actually not fun to experience this.
No,
I care
know
about
it's not
basketball.
fun.
Do you
I
know how bad I feel for the average Atlanta family man who just has nothing to go for in life? He'd be going home, he'd be paying his bills and whatnot, and he has to sit home every night and watch this sorry ass basketball team he pays like I don't know $50 a year for or whatever with Bally Sports just to see this type of performance. This is terrible.
Do you think the average Atlanta man cares about the Hawks? Is that more of a Falcon city?
If you're a basketball guy, then yeah, you care about the fucking Hawks, bruh. This is terrible. Falcon City, God, you know what's happening. They're Georgia City, bruh.
Okay, fine. Yeah, Bulldog City.
Georgia City, yeah.
Okay.
Fuck, man. Fuck this team.
I love to hear it.
It's not
It's fantastic.
It's hilarious.
It's the best.
And I think the Trae Young stuff is picking up steam. Obviously, Mark Stein reported that. Not Vince McMahon. What's his name? Tim McMahon.
Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon has co-signed the Trae Young rumors. It killed me because he said Ban McMahon as his Twitter handle, so I forgot his first name. He also says the Hawks are looking for ways to get rid of Trae Young, which is hilarious verbiage.
He said, under any circumstance, Trae Young would not be back on the Hawks.
It's not. We're open to trading him. We're exploring possibilities. I'm begging for you to take this motherfucker off my hands.
It's like frantic, like, you, Trae, please take him. Like, God.
The Hawks certainly are indicating that they're looking for the exit ramp of Trae Young. They did not make any attempt to get him signed to an extension. When that's the case with their face of the franchise, it's a pretty clear message that this could be the end, as Donovan told you for months.
I've been saying this, and I do feel validated to the utmost degree.
Shut up.
Listen, I've been telling you, this is a clear sign of how they feel. And if that's how you feel about the face of your franchise, then this is what you do. It also does not help. We brought up the stats. They haven't been good since he's come back. The defense is worse than it's ever been. The effort level on specific plays that you can pinpoint is some of the worst effort level that you've ever seen from any player, of him just falling down, not getting back up, not trying to be involved in any type of play defensively. There was a point in the game, our yearly matchup with the Knicks and the Hawks, where Trae has like 7 points. He's missing every single floater. He's getting beat on every single drive. Like he right now has more negative impact than positive.
Yeah. But I mean, also too, it's just the whole team, you know, like we have legitimately no centers. We did our episode just a couple of days ago, and my question for this team was, who is getting these boards? Who is stopping somebody in the paint? We have absolutely nobody there, you know?
And that's fair, but like nobody else, if we're talking about signing a franchise player to a star deal, to a max deal, you're asking, are we going to pay this guy $50 million? We're going to pay him $55 million. And yes, you have to find centers who can do that. You have to find just overall defenders as a team. Mm-hmm. But it's much easier to do that when you have $55 million to go around, and it's not caught up in a point guard who hasn't been himself offensively in 2 years, who has never been great defensively, and now is even worse than he's ever been. And vibes-wise, the vibes haven't been good for a year and a half now. So I think that for the Hawks, it would make sense. It would make sense for them to move on from Trae and to get assets for him and do all of that, because surprise, surprise, the Hawks are going to be mid and be in the play-in in the weakest Eastern Conference that we've seen in a decade, in a long time. The Hawks are going to be one of the few teams that don't take advantage of the situation in front of them, when in the offseason, we all, like you said, they had a great offseason. We all thought that they were going to be top 4, top 5, right? Being able to contend, maybe even get to the second round of the playoffs. If they win 3 games in the first round, I would be shocked.
Just put the gun ahead and blow me out right now. Like, who do you want to see trade for Trae Young? Just give me names. Give me numbers.
NBA deal or no deal, Trae Young edition. I got 4 teams for you. You tell me what you would do if you were the Hawks GM. Would you take these trades? Trade number 1. Rob Dillingham and Julius Randle for Trae.
Fuck no. Hell no. I don't want Julius Randle.
You get Randle and Jalen Johnson as these 2 big forwards that no one can contend with. Get some spacing around him, some defense around him.
And get Robert Dillingham.
He might become Trae Young. I don't know, 2 years from now. 2 years from now, who's going to be better?
No, I'm not.
With the way Trae's trending, who's going to be better?
No, I'm not doing that.
No?
If it's not Jaden McDaniels, get out of my face. If it's not for Anthony Edwards, get out of my face.
Anthony Edwards, okay.
That's what I thought. Get out of my face.
To give you a gun.
It's not happening.
Tell you to use it. Would you trade him to the Magic for Jalen Suggs straight up 1-for-1? Get some defense around Jalen Johnson.
That would be like very entertaining to see. I love seeing Jalen Suggs play defense, and he's also been good offensively too.
Somebody's got to do it.
Throw Anthony Black in there too. Give me a first round pick, give me a swap or something like that, and we can have a conversation. I wouldn't be jumping on the phone.
Wait,
for
you
this.
saying Suggs, Anthony Black, and a swap?
Yes.
You lost your goddamn mind. Best I could do is Jalen Suggs and Jett Howard. Take it or leave it.
No, I actually do want Anthony Black though. I do want Anthony Black.
I can give you Anthony Black and a swap, and that's it.
Nah, it won't work when you guys can't talk. Bye. Next team.
So Jalen Suggs and Jett Howard, will you take it?
No.
No deal again.
No.
Tough crowd. Kyle Kuzma, Bobby Portis, Ryan Rollins, and the 2026 first round pick you have the swap for, you get it straight up. So now you have your pick and the Bucks pick.
Deal. I'm taking that.
So Kuzma, Rollins, and you get the extra pick. So basically get your own pick.
I think I might have to take this back to the team and actually talk about this. I fear I might say yes.
I'm taking this. I'm taking this. You get that extra pick. You give yourself an opportunity to really hit a reset and not have to get on another timeline. Because low key, I kind of like the Minnesota deal, but having Julius Randle around, it now puts you in this like weird position where you know that you're also like still going to be mid, but like somewhat competitive. If you tear it down like this, you really give yourself a nice foundation to kind of reinvent this team. So I would take this deal over the Minnesota one. Yeah,
the Julius Randle fit would just be weird and would fuck up everything that Jalen Johnson has going on. But Ryan Rollins would be like, he could be better for this team. It's so crazy to say, but
straight
he
up
might make
Ryan
this
Rollins
team.
over Trae.
He might make this team better because of the impact that he has defensively.
Yeah. And you have Ryan Rollins, basically because the Spurs have your swap, so you'd have essentially the Spurs pick and the Bucks pick in this draft.
Need that.
Not bad.
It's not bad. It's not the worst outcome at all.
Trade number 4, last one. MPJ and the Knicks 2027 first round pick for Trae Young.
I don't want MPJ around my young guys, man. I'm good. Well, man, I don't know.
No. He's right.
Bad in Atlanta?
In Atlanta?
Fuck yeah, no. Hell no.
Keep him in Brooklyn. Let Jordy take care of him.
God, no, man. He's hooping, but yeah. I'm good with Zachary Ricochet. You're good, bro.
Oh, my goodness.
Next thing we're going to do, we're going to do a lightning round NBA news we got to react to.
He go on the studio tour, man.
Dude, he would light it up in Atlanta. He would be a monster. God.
We got a lightning round of news to react to. Actually, first one, this really isn't even part of lightning round because this actually has some conversation to it. Per Shams last week, this came out on December 23rd after we recorded, so it's been a while, but we need to talk about this. The NBA and its stakeholders have started talks on finding new solutions to prevent tanking they have deemed it as an issue that they cannot allow in its current state, even after lottery reforms, and they're mulling about different types of things that they think will come and solve the late season issues that NBA has from a viewing perspective, which is tanking. 3 things have been floated in the Shams article that these are not impending changes, but they're things that they're talking about to whatever degree. 1, limiting pick protections to either top 4 or 14 and higher. So you can't do like a top 8 protected pick or something like that. So that leads to a lot of late season tanking of teams trying to get just over that threshold. No longer allowing a team to draft in the top 4 2 years in a row, which is crazy. And last but not least, locking lottery positions after March 1st. What do you think about all these? And what do you think about the general idea that we need to address tanking more? Because I kind of think that's a little bit of a, from my perspective, kind of a non-issue. Or not non-issue in the sense that we're not going to make it much different.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I think I kind of agree with that. I do think that 2 out of these 3 ideas are stuff that you would say in your first brainstorming session when you are trying to figure out an issue to a problem, right? Yeah. We're just throwing stuff at the wall, trying to see what sticks. Because I do think not allowing a team to draft top 4 2 years in a row, especially when you have a lottery, right, that you say is not rigged, would be crazy. So I don't like that idea. I think locking lottery positions after March 1st, like
you're just gonna see tanking happen a lot sooner. Exactly. That's so dumb.
Yeah, you're just pushing up that that timeline. Kind of the same thing with the top 4 or 14 and higher in terms of pick protections. I think if you say this pick is top 4 protected, teams that are earlier in the season are going to make that decision on whether or not they want to tank, and so you might get more tanking from the worst teams.
I think I totally understand and I'm empathetic to the league front office and why they view tanking as a blight on the sport. There's no other sport across American sports, at least, or really probably in the world, because there's no drafts in like European sports. There's no other sport that has this much incentive to lose for that many prolonged weeks. Like in NFL right now, the last 2 weeks, we're seeing the Raiders and Giants do their thing. It's 2 weeks. Whatever, right? Every time we get to March, there's like 7 teams trying to lose on purpose. So I understand from a product perspective that that's an issue. I think the answer being teams cannot select twice in the top 4 2 years in a row is asinine.
Dude, that's ridiculous.
I think that's completely berserk to even entertain. So I think there's a lot of disdain for the worst teams in the league. But a lot of people, including you, saying these teams that suck at drafting, that you suck, that's their problem. The shitty stay shitty. I think that's an insane stance to take from a league perspective, that you need parity. The best thing about the NFL is the teams that are bad, outside of a few circumstances, typically you have a cycle in place because they pick at the top of the draft. Eventually they get good by having top picks, right? That's not an exact science. Some teams do stay bad for a long time, but more often than not, teams kind of go in a cycle that creates parity. We already don't see that because of the lottery reform now, where we've seen these top teams jump up to the top 4 and having teams get the 5th pick over and over again, even though they're tanking and trying to rebuild the right way for what is needed in the league. Mm-hmm. This would just make that worse. Some of these bottom feeder teams would never get out of the bottom.
Yeah, like I remember specifically, this will nuke so many teams duos. Like team like the Memphis Grizzlies, who obviously like aren't on anything at all this season, but they had a couple good years, couple good runs, and were able to like bring up this newfound culture and whatnot. But in 2018, they selected Jaren Jackson Jr. And then in 2019, of course, that was the jaw draft. Like that would never exist if this thing was in place. And you're not giving star players, marquee players, an opportunity to actually build out like an actual squad.
Bro, they would have had Jaren Jackson and Cam Reddish.
Like, what are we talking about right now?
And again, I understand that, yes, teams can rebuild without a top pick. We see it all the time, right? So I understand that it's not so simple as me saying these teams will suck forever. You might say, well, that's on them. Draft well outside of the top 4, right? Like, it's not our problem. Some of these teams do bad, and they will continue to do bad, and that's on them. I understand that. The number one priority for the league, I think, should be ensuring that teams do not stay bad for as long as possible. The number one priority above all else, I think, is encouraging parity and encouraging teams being able to get out of the slums so we don't have fan bases watching bullshit for 10 straight years. Any measure that does the opposite of that and makes it harder for these teams and puts more onus on them, I just think it's bad for the league, no matter how much you want to like assign blame and respectability. That's not good for the league, I think.
Yeah, you gotta give people the chance to be bad.
Yeah.
Right. And so that's why I think, again, like allowing them to draft in the top 4 is fine. I think for the pick protections, because the players themselves, like whoever you put out onto the floor, it's not like those specific individuals are trying to lose the game, right? Like tanking is a very like an organizational decision, and we're putting out guys that we just don't think are good enough, and you know they'll do the job for us. But how many times have we seen in the NBA and even in the NFL, like even this last week, the Giants and Raiders are playing for the number 1 pick, essentially. The Giants are coming out there. They're actually trying to win that game. So it's fine. And you get situations where the team that you put out at the start of the season maybe is a little bit better than what you think, and you might have something to play for. We've seen it with the Jazz.
Yes.
First half of the year, they're playing regular basketball. Second half of the year, they cut everything off. If you take the pick protections away altogether and just say, listen, you need to grow up and be an adult and live with your decision. You want to trade this pick away, trade it away then.
I think I could get behind that, but that would make it so less trades happen. And I think the league probably wants more trades to happen because it's good for the league. And you do need to have some flexibility in the second apron era too.
Let's decide that.
But I do like what they said, either top 4 or 14 or higher. I think, or even just lottery protected, I think is fine. Like making less options in your pick protection, I think is good. Like being able to do top 8, top 6, top 4, whatever you want. I'm okay taking that away. I do like this idea that it's either you're protecting at the very top or a whole lottery. Otherwise, roll the motherfucking dice.
Yeah. I think the answer when it comes to solving tanking and whatnot is right in front of our faces, or at least like how disgusting it's been. Is just shortening the season. But obviously that's never going to happen because money reasons and whatnot. They'd be losing millions, hundreds of millions of dollars if they did that. But if not that, why not like elongate the season a little bit, or would that make things worse? Because you get to see them here, you get to see
elongate.
worse
Hell
players.
nah, fuck
You
no.
can't. You
For a lot of reasons.
Yeah.
The locking lottery positions after March 1st, I see that. I'm like, okay, that's kind of creative.
It sounds cool, but it's like,
so complicated.
Yeah,
it's so complicated. Like the NBA is already becoming a really complicated sport. That's kind of, I don't know. It just feels like a lot to try to make fans understand that. Like, what do teams even do after March 1st? Like, I guess that's what they want is you go out there, you try to win games, entertain your fans, I guess. But
it makes the NBA calendar so weird because you have the NBA draft lottery in like February or something like that.
Yeah,
like,
it's just weird. And then the same thing would happen. They would just start earlier.
That's what I'm saying. You would make February basketball for so many teams the worst product that you've ever seen.
I guess their idea would be most of the times by February, you're still pretty whole. And like the Jazz situation, you can't completely rip off the bandage that fast. That the more time gives you more opportunity to have one injury, give you an excuse to. So maybe less teams would do it. Some teams still would, certainly. Like the Pacers have been nuked forever, so they'd be tanking in February really bad. But like the Jazz this year, if it locked in 60 days, they probably wouldn't be able to tank.
But then you would have, if you're locking by March 1st, you have the trade deadline that's at the start of February. Listen, we're trading all these guys. We're sitting there, everybody else down. You have the All-Star, All-Star break.
It's so shameless.
There's so many areas where you can say, hey, this didn't go our way. This didn't go our way. We're just going to sit everybody right now. And I don't think that locking it in March 1st is smart. I do sympathize though with the league in trying to figure out how can you make the product from start to finish decent for fans, right? Obviously, like it's sometimes it's funny whenever you see the tweets of like it only costs $2 to get into this game because it's like, oh wow, like you guys have no motion, but realistically that is what you want. Like you want people to be able to get into the games and stuff. And so whenever people are paying like a lot of money and then, you know, people don't play and you're watching bad basketball in person, I understand why the league is very like alert to that because you don't want people to be upset. But this also, hey man, it's part of the game. There is a certain part of it where you just have to kind of accept it.
And like if you're an actual hardcore, obviously this proposal like pertains to just the wider base, widespread fans and whatnot. But if you're a hardcore fan, I'm not gonna lie, some of the best times of my fucking basketball watching life is seeing like the bottom feeders of the team trying to make a name for themselves and stick around through these tanking years. For a team like OKC, yo, you feel vindicated that someone like Lou Dort won a championship after all the treacherous years that you went through. So there's glory in this shit. You just have to find it.
You start crate digging. Start finding samples.
Success is in the eye of the beholder. Sometimes it's okay to watch what was that dude's name? The tall, ski white dude that played for OKC in the tanking years.
Poku.
Sometimes it's okay to watch Poku play and try to lose on purpose.
Yeah.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Next news story, no rapid fire. Kawhi Leonard just dropped 55 points, the most I've ever seen Kawhi Leonard drop. I don't remember if it's career high or not, but it's got to be up there.
That's a career high.
It is. Okay, he beat the Pistons. They have now won
Wow.
4 games in a row, are quickly sprinting towards mediocrity instead of outright disaster in a way that we've talked about. And I think I had a little bit of an idea that they might, I had a little hope in my heart that they might become respectable. I think, Donovan, you said, fuck no, there's no way in hell they become a playing team or whatever. It's looking like they're getting towards that direction. It looks like James Harden and Kawhi, who we did our ranking episode a couple weeks ago, and I was like, have we really sat here and rationalized the idea that James Harden and Kawhi are both playing great basketball and are both top 30 players and they still suck? Like, that's insane. That's such a indictment on the rest of the roster. Maybe now it was an indictment, but also a sign that they might get a little more regular.
Woo, look at their defense, man. 88, giving up 88, 108, 103, 99 points. And these teams are like not nobodies at all.
Yeah, and Zubac has missed all 4 of these games. He went out with injury. That's crazy. I think Brook Lopez, his spacing has given them a new look and really helped this offensive burst. I mean, in one of these games against Portland, he had 9 threes, which is just outlandish. But overall, the spacing they've had has been a nice help there to give them some new life. And then, yeah, maybe it's only 4 games, but they're catching wind at the right time.
And then also on top of that, too, Derrick Jones Jr. is coming back as well.
Yes.
Ooh.
So something to stand and look out for. Maybe the Clippers are getting respectable. If we look here at Tankathon right now, they no longer are giving OKC a top 4 odds, which is the best odds of number 1 pick. They have now dropped to 5th. And right above them, they have 10 wins right now. The Brooklyn Nets also have 10. They're at 6th. Charlotte is at 11. Dallas is at 12. Utah also at 12. A lot of these teams are kind of floating right above them. They might pass the teams. They might quickly come up there and be like the 10th best odds.
We should all be not OKC fans, Clippers fans, bro, for these next at least like 40-ish games and whatnot. Because if OKC gets another pick, top 3 pick, it's not looking good for us, bruv.
You say that. Let's go down a little bit. Atlanta gives the Spurs a pick 12. They're not trending in the right direction. They're 2 games away from giving the Spurs a top 10 pick. And, you know, we've seen the 10th best odds jump up to number 1. We have a new agenda at play here. We might be seeing DeBonzo in the Spurs uniform if the Hawks have anything to say about it.
That'll be nuts shit, bro. That'll be nuts.
Can you imagine?
De'Aaron Fox, Harper, Castle, DeBonzo, and Wemby. What?
I can't even fathom that outcome.
Can't happen, bro.
I truly cannot fathom it. Also, the Pacers are number 1 odds now.
Yeah.
Man, I haven't watched a Pacers game in like 3 weeks.
I haven't either.
Man, I haven't seen them in a long
they're
time.
An afterthought, bro.
I haven't seen them in a long time.
They're not good, bro.
But yeah, shout out to the Clippers.
The Knicks have to get a title this year. It's so good, man.
Shout out the Clippers quickly sprinting towards mediocrity where we all thought they should be. Maybe they're getting back towards it. Scotty Barnes had 25 rebounds, by the way. He's been playing center with all their injuries, and it hasn't been going well before this game. He had 7 games which he was shooting like fucking 30% from the field. It was disgusting. Whenever Scotty Barnes has to play out of his ideal role, shit gets ugly real fast. He needs his circumstances. Him playing small ball center has been bad for about 2 weeks now. Then the Warriors came in front of him.
Yeah.
23 points, 25 rebounds, 10 assists, 3 steals, 1 block, 64.7% from the field. Won this game in overtime, in which he really dominated on the boards. Like, they ended up winning by, I think, 13 or 14 in overtime after obviously being tied into regulation because he was killing them on the glass.
This is such an indictment on the Warriors.
Facts.
It's such like, you guys are now everybody's get right game.
Yep.
which is crazy. We thought that we were going to end the Steph Curry era with just a little bit of hope, right? A little bit of fight in us.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, man. Scotty Barnes is putting up Jokic numbers against the Warriors.
The funniest part about this game, it's not even like Toronto slanted for real, but is when Draymond Green hit a 3 at the top of the key, and then he was yelling at Scotty Barnes and was like, "Garby!" That man is deranged. It's so over. He said, "Garby!" Fuck, yo.
Yeah, he has a problem.
Yeah, man. The Warriors are the Warriors, man. There was also that comment by Steve Kerr where he said we are a what was the word he said? He didn't say dying dynasty, but he said like twilighting or something like that. Let me find exactly. Weird vibes over there right now. And you know, that's been the case. It's getting extremely weird. Let me find the exact quote.
Yeah, you're right. There was a point in time where I think it happened this weekend, where Draymond Green was visibly upset and he was arguing with Steve Kerr on the bench, and Draymond just walked off into the locker room.
Yeah, I was gonna have that be a main talking point, but now a few days removed, he just stormed off. They were arguing and he went to the locker room. I've never seen that.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Butler said that shit makes me hard.
He's so yo, this team is in disarray. What's going on?
I think he said it makes me aroused. I don't know exactly.
He said it turns me on.
It turns me on. He said I was bricked.
Yo, we got to get Steph out of here. This team is too weird, man.
I have the graphic for you.
It's a graphic.
But yeah, Steve Kerr said we are no longer the 17 Warriors dominating the league. We are a fading dynasty.
Damn. He's admitting defeat. Damn.
He's just noticing the reality.
Well, I guess like we can just officially stop talking about the Warriors seriously now.
Nope, because we have a new report. We have to speak about them again. Per Chris Haynes, who is usually pretty tapped in straight from the source in a good or bad way, the Warriors are considering exploring a trade for Anthony Davis, per Chris Haynes. Now, this verbiage.
Let's do it.
Hilarious. The Warriors are considering exploring a trade. Not that they're exploring, not that they're giving offers. They're considering the possibility of thinking about maybe potentially getting Anthony Davis.
They're thinking about thinking.
Yes,
That's diligent. I like that.
They're borderline thinking about considering getting AD. I understand the line of thinking. I think like that a lot too.
The original tweet had a funnier verbiage. I think that one took it down a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, here it is. I was told the Warriors are contemplating making a case to acquire Anthony Davis.
They're thinking about
contemplating a potential argument
about AD. They got some real thinkers in that front office, man.
They do.
They be thinking hard all day, thinking about nothing. Just be staring at this. Caveman.
That meme.
That's good, man.
That's Steve Kerr.
Oh,
Steve Kerr just pondering. Him and Bob Myers just pondering some shit.
Oh man.
Keontae George over his last 7 games. Well, why is the screen recording not showing the right thing? I don't know. Anyways, Keontae George over his last 7 games, 31 points, 24 points, 20 points, 27, 34, 37, 39. Keontae George has been a problem. Looking like a most improved player case building up.
He's a hooper, man. And I'm very happy with everything that we've seen, because there's been like moments in this year where even outside of the stretch where we're like, hey, Keontae George like playing really well. Like, you know, the three's not here, the three's not there, but like everything else is going. We've seen his whole game and his whole scoring arsenal really be on Front Street these last couple games. He had the game winner against the Pistons as well. Like he also we talked about the Thunder on Christmas Day, and then they go and get beat at home by the Jazz, right? Like Utah has been playing some pretty respectable basketball as of late, and a lot of that is because of Keontae George.
Yeah, I have been the number one fan of his going into this year, because there's just been constant questions about Utah and what their actual core looks like. Of course, he's a part of it, but you're not the face of it at all. They drafted a point guard last year because they're not confident in you. They have questions about you. And I think this year he's like obviously solidified him. If he continues his pace of just putting up 30, obviously 30 and 6 or whatever the numbers are looking like, he's going to be like a star. He's going to be damn near like, he has potential to be a perennial all-star with these types of stretches. And it's like so unforeseen and weird. The point guard position is one of the hardest positions to play. Obviously, year in and year out, we see random young guards be talked about such things, and then it just never comes together, whether it be someone like, I don't know, Scoot Henderson and whatnot, whether we want to see a jump from John Morant or whatever the point guard may be, it just continues to falter, and seeing him put it together from nothing it's a feel-good story.
Yeah, it's also made me sad, because I'm like, man, what would this team look like with Keontae playing like this? You have Lowry and Walker Kessler there instead of Nurkic at center every single night.
Yeah.
It's like they legitimately like could have made a push if you were going to get both of these leaps and then have Kessler there. So for the future of the Jazz, I am looking at them and I'm like, listen, they are probably, and you've heard like some people maybe just like theorize it about the Jazz being like the next team to make like the surprise trade and maybe go get a star and start, actually like building out their core, especially considering that their draft picks haven't really been amazing over these last couple of years. If we get to the offseason and Utah feels like, let's start being a respectable basketball team again, let's go out and trade for somebody, I wouldn't be shocked by that.
Mm-hmm. Last thing we're going to talk about today. We got to talk about the Lakers. Saved it for the end. We talked about in the beginning how the OKC Thunder got beat for the third time by the Spurs. And it was obviously a big story. Everybody was talking about it, how these guys are exposed as frauds, yada, yada. Somehow they were not the biggest failures of Christmas Day. That was the Lakers getting absolutely destroyed by a Houston Rockets team that was struggling offensively as of late. They lit them up on both sides of the ball. It felt like we saw the Lakers kind of get a death blow for the early season version of them that we saw them overachieving. This felt like the game where they're officially down to reality. And they're officially a flawed team going through a little midseason identity crisis and need to figure it out. And it was bad. And after that game, we had a very mad JJ Redick, who for previous days was already mad, making a lot of statements in the media about his team, saying they weren't playing hard, they didn't have enough guys who wanted to do little things, who wanted to play hard, right? He was at his boiling point. And we know JJ Redick. We know one thing about him that we've learned. There is some unbridled white boy rage in there. And he said after Christmas Day, we're a terrible basketball team. And tonight, we were a terrible basketball team. We don't care enough to be professional. We don't have it right now. Saturday's practice, I told the guys, it's going to be uncomfortable. The meeting is going to be uncomfortable. I'm not doing another 53 games of this.
You know what that sounds like?
What does it
Sound like he's finna get fired. Because they just gave you a contract extension after year one. And so if you're not going to do another 53 games of this, I'll tell you who is going to play another 53. Luka, LeBron, hopefully Reeves whenever he comes back. You have all of these other players on the Lakers who are going to play. So where are you going to be, JJ? Are you going to be on the sideline? You're going to be at home. Let's make that decision right now so we can plan accordingly for the rest of the season. Let me know.
All right, well, that went in another direction I didn't expect. The next day after this comment, Austin Reeves has been diagnosed with a grade 2 left calf strain and will be reevaluated in 4 weeks. So now, listen, 53 more games of this. About 25 of those games, or maybe more, will not have Austin Reeves. Big deal. And this was led with a lot of people thinking, okay, this is the inflection point. We need to figure out how to win without Austin Reeves. And more specifically, we need to learn how to win with LeBron. Because part of those comments, also, JJ Redick said in practice the next day, since we've gotten Braun back, we haven't been as organized offensively. Too many random possessions. That's on me. It's those three things. Well, three things. Defensive clarity, role clarity, and offensive organization. He said LeBron came back and ruined us.
They were right.
they got him. But he has a good point. I think he's saying that I ruined us when LeBron came back. I didn't prep us well enough for him to be able to be put into this lineup well enough. And to me, he mentioned offensive clarity and stuff. The defense has been a real issue. We've been talking about it all year. The lineup with Luka, Austin Reeves, LeBron, and Rui Hachimura has absolutely zero chance of being a successful defensive lineup. Way too many low activity, low athletic, low motor defenders in that lineup, and it's been a disaster.
What do Ruby like thinking about sometimes? The other day I saw this montage and it was offensive, but it happens defensively a lot too, where like it's just constantly LeBron and Luka and Reeves just screaming at him to get in place and get in order and whatnot. He'd just be like fading off. A couple of episodes ago, you also said, Isaac, that time has come. You need to see Rui Hachimura on the bench, who'd be a great 6-man type guy and whatnot. You guys need more of a spark plug when it comes to filling in gaps defensively, obviously. I fear that that's not available to you guys. You're relying on Marcus Smart in the big year of 2025.
He's been pretty good, so I'm not really mad about relying on him at all. Like, he should be starting. Now, with Reeves out, they decided to start him, as you'd hope. Rui Hachimura is still in that starting lineup. And last night we had a get-right game. They faced off against the Sacramento Kings. The ultimate get-right game. Beat the shit out of them. I think we saw, LeBron has like a 90% field goal percentage. It was one of the most efficient games of his career. It was crazy. So they truly beat the piss out of him. I think we saw them run in transition a little bit more. That was a clear effort there. Luka and LeBron, 2-man game was a more clear effort. A lot of LeBron screening for Luka, getting those two together. They changed up their rotation patterns a little bit. Luka wasn't playing the whole first quarter like he always has been. He started checking out a little bit earlier, I think as a way to kind of not let him get into these cycles of just getting tired at the end of the first and doing a lot of step-back threes. Now, he did do a lot of step-back threes still. They were not falling. But they did offensively have a get-right game, and that at least is a good step towards LeBron and Luka figuring it out.
Yeah, I think for the Lakers, a lot of this is like, they're just flawed.
Yeah.
And they've been this way since they got Luka. And even whenever they had the stretch where like the defense was going crazy, and like even before they got Luka, right, they had AD, and it's like, wow, like the Lakers are really putting it together defensively. That one in a playoff context, like they can get exposed. And then coming into this year, you still have all of those same issues. And so the Lakers, like, it is a personnel thing for them, but like you have to give JJ Redick a little bit of grace, because again, he doesn't necessarily have all of the guys that you would want and that you would need to have a good defense. And then if you do put in your top defenders and try to switch over to the other side, now your offense takes a hit. You haven't been able to find a good balance. So I can understand the frustration on his part, because this is a bigger picture issue. The other problem about this, where I will say, like, it's not like LeBron's fault or whatever, but like the organization is trying to figure out, how do we manage the end of LeBron's career and manage that with going all in on Luka and using the assets that you're paying LeBron to now bring in a team that's actually built around Luka fully, you know?
Yeah, it's tough. Like you mentioned in the beginning, when I pulled up the quote by JJ Redick, you said they were right. Mm-hmm. They were right. LeBron ruined this team. Mm-hmm. I think the people that were right were saying, the ones that were saying the early season wins were a fluke. Mm-hmm. Those are the people that are right. We decided to say this is real to some regard, not because we thought they could continue to be on a 2-seed pace with Luka and Reeves and a bunch of, with really those two missing time too, either one or the other. We didn't think if that was the case, they were going to continue to be the 2-seed. We thought they've shown enough strength here with the offense being so crazy, with Luka being so great, and Reeves making the clear all-star jump, that we can tell ourselves that when those two stay healthy and when they inject LeBron back, they have enough strength that they'll cover up some of the weaknesses. And that sounds like upward trajectory will be on the way, and they should be able to get better to stave off some of the clear regression that'll come with this style of play, right? Not really. They just got the regression and are still the flawed team that we thought they were before the postseason and before the season started. And LeBron having the slow start because sciatica certainly didn't help. Certainly didn't help that JJ Redick didn't do a good job of getting them ready to play with each other. But they just are who we thought they were to some extent. You know, like they just, that early part of this was kind of fake.
Which is what, 4 or 5 seed?
Yeah, probably.
That's so sad, man. It's at least it's sad for the expectations that I had, the agendas that I wanted to push. I think this year, if I remember correctly, I did say that Luka was going to be my personal pick prediction for MVP and whatnot. That shit is so long gone and not happening.
Yeah. Also, another part of this is like, it's not on him, but he hasn't played his best ball in the past 2 weeks. Yeah. And early season when they were going so crazy, it was because either Reeves or Luka were playing like the best guard in the NBA and covering up a lot of flaws in the system around him. If Luka is not going to be 100%, which everybody's going to have a week or two where they're just not quite what they were, you know, like they're going to have some slow stretches throughout the season. They can't weather that storm at all as currently constructed. And we talked about them last week in our One Question for 2026 episode. Check that out, Friday's episode. That I said the question they have to answer is this team good enough to even go all in for? To shed your assets right now and bring in defenders and try to make this season have the best playoff push possible? Or are they not good enough and you just hold your assets until next summer and then try to make this upcoming offseason be the year where you build a real contender, so next year you're peak version of Luka and Reeves together? Kind of feels like they're not good enough.
Yeah, currently right now. And there's nothing worse than just like dwindling away time from LeBron's career while also just like wasting a year. I feel like it probably, if you were to ask me this 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I'd be like, yeah, trade those picks. Why not? But now I'm like, like it probably doesn't matter because there's things within Luka's game that people, going back to what you said, have been talking about and whatnot. The Austin Reeves injury is here, and that just set back a whole lot of things. There's like multiple players that you are away from this, from like being actual contenders. You're like not even one anymore. It's 2, maybe even 3. Who
I don't think it doesn't feel like LeBron's good enough to necessarily be worried about like wasting a year of LeBron.
Yeah.
You know, so like wasting a year of prime Luka is obviously tragic, but like you only get so many years of LeBron has always been the thing. That's not exactly what I care about right now.
But then there's like going to be another huge gap that you have to fill when LeBron's going to be like out
sort of
there.
But they'll have a lot of flexibility to get a good roster without that money on the books. Yeah. But still, it is a wasted year. It is the last wasted year of cheap Reeves is a thing. And to the LeBron point, he's getting his legs back offensively. He's scoring his ass off. He's looking more athletic. His burst is back to some degree like it was last year. He had 2 dunks in this past game where his head was towards that rim. He's moving again. I just don't know if he has the desire or ability to give enough on the boards and defensive activity like he did last year after Luka trade. That's the part where we got to see really come back. Whether it's I'm old and not locked in because I just can't be asked to give it that every night, or it's I can't move and exert that much energy. Whatever the reason is, that's what's really needed. And that's the part that if that's not going to be there, this team doesn't really have a chance. Because like I said in the beginning, way too many low activity defenders with all these guys here to really have any chance if LeBron is not going to be like a plus athlete still.
Which is why, like, and you mentioned like the cheap Reeves, and when you try to like balance the like whose year are we like really wasting?
Yeah.
The cheap Reeves is way more important than the last year of Bron. But I also think that if you are saying, oh, I don't want to go all in because I don't think LeBron is like that anymore, and we're like transitioning our team into being Luka centric, I actually think that with that mindset, you probably should go all in or should be more willing to part from those picks, because then you're saying we need to give LeBron more help. And we know that there's also this like flawed roster behind Luka, so we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone and get the more help for Bron, and then also kind of create this other type of roster. I do wonder, like, if they do finish the season as like a 5 seed and they go out in the first round again, like how quickly can we move in actually building a contender if we are going to stay pat and not trade any of the picks, and you have all of your flexibility? Like Rob Pelinka, once again, your legacy is on the line.
That's the part.
And
That's
you
the part.
have to really, really lock in and make this a contender next year.
That's the part. If they decide to stand pat and don't trade any first round picks at this deadline and go into next year in the summer when they have 3 to trade, and if LeBron walks or LeBron retires and they have that full cap space available to them in their full arsenal of picks, which is 3 first rounders, and at that point I assume 3 swaps, they can be pretty great, pretty fast. Yeah. I just don't know if Rob Pelinka is going to be able to do it.
He has to make the right decisions, bro. And there's no room for any like Russell Westbrook type errors and whatnot, bro. No room for that shit at all. And also, there's no room for, even if you like do decide to keep picks or whatever and decide to draft another like spunky white boy or whatever, no more room for misses at all.
Yep.
That would who is the Russell Westbrook equivalent to where like he would trade for this person and they would shut the title window down. Like if they traded everything for like Sabonis or something.
Oh my God,
like that would
lose my mind. Don't even put that in the world.
Yeah, what if they just like got back AD or something like that?
Got back AD.
Don't even put Sabonis into the air.
Yeah, Sabonis.
Luka, Sabonis, Reeves.
Oh my God.
6 seed anybody?
I think if they didn't get Aiden, someone like that could have been maybe like a Jared Allen or whatever. His whole PR is like down the fucking toilet. But thankfully, like, there's not an option like that, at least up until this point for Rob.
Yeah. We'll see. I would like Rob Pelinka fired. Next year, we can make something happen. This year, we'll see.
Start watching The Dark Knight, buddy. Get locked in. Do whatever you need to do.
And with that being said, that is the end of this episode. If you're still here, we appreciate you sticking through for the first Monday full episode. It's going to be stuff like this. Again, same type of format as our streams, just put into an episode like this. Focus on the news over the weekend that we missed since our last recording, since we record on Thursday. Focus on interactive stuff with you guys. Friday remains the same. Stay tuned over the course of this month, like I said in the beginning, for a lot of big changes coming.
What should they comment?
Pelinka, are you a man or a mouse?
Vote for Jalen Johnson. All-star voting is out.
Don't do that.
I thought you meant for president.
I mean, you could do that too. We'll get the world right.